Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Xavi. We're here for a special episode of the 2 Degrees Podcast. We got a round table happening, and we're at 6 Iron Indoor Golf. There's nobody here. They gave us a QR code to scan to get in, and yeah, let's check it out. Golf!
Yeah, I'm from South Africa. We play golf.
I picked golf because it's a lot of white guys. That's what I was like, I think
it's a cool thing's cool.
I used to play when I was a
Reynoldston
teenager, but I just stopped.
Yeah?
Reynoldston and Monty.
Yeah, Monty plays a lot of golf. Oh, that was a good hit.
No.
You fucking shanked it, bud.
Yeah.
Oh, you shanked it there right. Whoa.
There you go.
Nailed
Shot
that.
of the day. Retire.
There it is.
Wow.
When I found out that they did Happy Gilmore 2, and then I wasn't around for casting.
Wait, so your life's purpose was to be on Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah.
And then they came up with it. It's like a movie that they made.
Yeah.
But you were too busy wearing cowboy boots.
You guys ready to talk stand up? There's nothing more we all love.
Jesus.
Talking stand up.
The T got more carry on.
Want all this here? Or do you want to move?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 2 Degrees Podcast, brought to you by the Play On Foundation. In today's episode, super special episode. It's like Velcro, really? Now's the time. Super special episode because it's the first round table that we're going to have here for the 2 Degrees.
We didn't bring gloves.
Yeah.
Are those your own gloves? Or
No, these are podcast gloves.
Yeah, I think podcast. What are you doing?
This is why I wrote notes.
We haven't done a podcast in a while.
So the guests that I have today are some of the funniest people and most influential people that I feel in the Toronto comedy scene need to know, and their what they have to say about this industry matters and has that gravitas. I tried to get more, but everybody's just so damn busy. So before I introduce them, I also want to give a big shout out to Danton over at the Comedy Lab and Mickey. They also wanted to come out, but unfortunately Danton's out of town, so Mickey's running the club, so she's super packed with work, and they're amazing voices when it comes to diversity here. I gotta say it's about diversity because the panel's all white right now, so...
We're Jews.
And Jews.
White Jews.
White Jews. It's getting worse, guys.
He's an African white
Neil
Jew.
Banzel was supposed to come through. He's the one that's involved with getting all the festivals in town and where a lot of the comedians are trying to get a part of. So his opinion, like, I feel you guys will also reflect some of that. And Natalie Norman, shout out Natalie Norman, bringing Don't Tell over to Canada and rocking that, because I feel, especially with the social media game, Don't Tell is one of the biggest. That's
Say you want about the white guys. We show up. You know?
On time.
These people getting bad shout outs, we're the ones who are fucking here. This is nuts.
But let's get to our guests that are here today. And here with me we have Brent Sobel, Ariel Kagan out of Backroom Comedy Club. We got Jeff, who's also shouting out for his wife. Couldn't be here, but I wanted her on the panel as well to give her voice. But Icebreakers.
Icebreakers.
A lot of the pros. Yeah, you're probably one of the fun shows that I find just bring out the pros and makes it like...
Somebody has to have that.
Fair. And we got Garrett Jamieson. He's been doing a lot of shows in the city as well.
Doing a lot of shows.
A lot of shows. And he's also setting up a comedy club in St. Lucia. So
Hey, let's not forget about the Toronto Comedy Festival.
Toronto Comedy Festival,
Yeah.
The Lot.
Oh yeah, you owned a club in town. You owned a club for a while?
And then,
I'm into bonus.
yeah, then ran.
Ran
Nothing
Chevy
Fancy
days.
on
Yeah.
its way out.
Yeah.
And,
My favorite part about your club was to have a liquor license, you have to serve food, and you guys had 2 frozen dinners in your bar freezer, and you were selling them for like $35.
Did anyone ever buy them?
Yeah, one guy bought both of them.
Like, I gotta go.
Yeah, no
shit. Now we got to fill up the fridge again with more frozen dinners.
We didn't put this in the inventory budget.
This is not part of the plan.
Oh my God.
We need to sell more tickets.
We're this is what we're talking about here. What does it take to start a comedy club and do a comedy club? So I'm glad to have him on the podcast. And yeah, let's dive into some of these questions. Oh fuck! Sorry, one more shout out.
At least
6 Iron Golf. They are lending us the space. It is a virtual golf simulator. They got private bays for you and your party to come through, and we signed in with a QR code. they trusted us to come to this venue with a QR code that we weren't going to give it to other people and just showed up. And no, it's really, I'd say it's futuristic. I'd put it on the level of this is a futuristic space.
Yeah, this wouldn't be like 300 years ago for sure. Very futuristic.
Nah, it's 80s tech.
Yeah, this is 80s tech.
It's just green and black.
I do like the segregation of gloves to no gloves over here. That's
Wouldn't have it any other way.
I also chose
We
golf
didn't
because
do
it's
it.
a very white, as you can tell, industry. And I was like, what do white people like? Let me take them golf.
No, you chose golf because you like golf. Don't lie to these people.
Ariel on golf. Did you see him swing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking terrible. He didn't even try a swing.
If we could get some of him on camera.
Yeah, you've got it.
Yeah, we got it.
I
We
might
got it.
actually tune into this podcast.
Jeff loves to watch me fail. Loves it.
Oh,
I
man.
could just send you.
This is an idea. This is an idea for a new
That
podcast.
sounds
Is white people who can't golf.
Oh, then I'm perfectly comfortable being here. Thank you for having me.
Hey,
I wanna
and
start-
don't let the glove fool you. I have zero skills. You're like, you got your own glove? I'm like, yeah, you can just buy them. I didn't have to qualify for this. Like, oh, you made it to this level. Here's your glove now.
You finally got the glove society. That's so funny. Oh my god, 6 Iron Golf, guys. Check it out in Toronto. Gentlemen, thank y'all for showing up. Thank y'all for being here. And I want to start with Brendan, Ariel, opening up Backroom Comedy Club.
3 years this Saturday, baby.
So it's after COVID.
Yes, we started.
Definitely.
We started throwing shows in COVID as together,
Yeah.
and then
Well, right before COVID, we were like, yeah, we're going to start going on the road. And we did one show, and then the world ended.
yeah, one tour date, and then it was like
Was
you're
it
done.
also called Backroom when it was online?
No.
No, we
These boys.
we would call it back. We called it back room because the first space was
In the
you had to
back
walk
room.
through a full bar and go to the back room.
Fair.
And then now this space.
And I was like, people are dumb.
We
Like,
built a back room. Like
So,
just a wall.
so it wasn't Chrissy Pitt's pub then?
no, the original
Okay.
one was a different bar. yeah.
One night only.
We did one show and they kicked us out.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Jeff right after it happened. And he was like, "You guys are a mess."
Give us your experience of this first night at this club.
I don't think I did. That was on College Street, was it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I did not make it. I did not make it out that night.
Okay.
He thought there would be more nights.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I was waiting till the buzz went down.
Gotcha. So they got out all the kinks.
Yeah.
Fair.
Till it was a smooth running machines.
Yeah.
Still not.
Significantly more.
Yeah, better than that.
Less of a clubhouse and more of a club. But yeah.
So there's other people trying to do these shows as well, but then they don't have the luxury of having a venue to do it. Where's the weirdest place that you guys have done?
Like live shows or
Yeah.
the podcast?
live show.
Golf simulator.
Yeah, golf
The only guy not wearing a glove at a golf simulator.
Yeah, perfect. Where's the weirdest place
Yeah.
to do a show?
Only guys.
Yeah, no, I think any place is weird. Honestly, like,
That was such a huge answer.
yeah, well, no, it's true though.
It's
Like,
weird as soon as Garrett gets on stage.
yeah, like, it's strange. Yeah, weird as happening, you know, like, but yeah, it's, no matter where you are, it's gonna be weird.
Okay.
But all you need is a good sound system.
I guess then what the word I should be using, least professional place that you've done it.
Oh,
Dude, those outdoor COVID shows were wild.
Outdoor COVID show.
Like
Yeah,
when people were
parks.
outside, just like literally at some point there was like 3
some people
different shows
just
going
picnicking
on.
and you just
It's like
in
a
the park.
But that's what makes a show unique. I guess,
Experience, for
right?
sure,
Like
yeah.
each show has its own uniqueness
Gotcha.
to it, right?
Gotcha.
And that's what they try to capitalize on with like what Natalie is doing.
Yeah,
or
with
she's a
those
part
guys.
of. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, have you ever seen golf at a bike factory? or golf
Yeah.
comedy, whatever we're doing.
I did a Don't Tell in LA at a gym. It was weird. Like
Yeah.
just all the
Like basketball
Like a
court
ring?
line.
no like
Yeah.
like
The
boxing
weights-
out gym.
the
Like,
weights
all,
are-
all the weight machines and everything were pushed into the corner.
Clink.
and then they just set up like it was probably like 50 chairs.
I can imagine the person who had to set that place up had to be jacked to move those machines like that.
But then there was like behind me there was just like bands, like rubber bands and stuff hanging down. It was very
Suicide
odd.
machines. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not going to take the chance to do the plug, but like the reason we're finding success is like the room's built for comedy.
Yeah.
So it's like with so many times you go to places, and it's cool working with Ariel because day one he'd be like, "This room." The cool thing is like we go to a place and it's set
So
up.
you
weird.
installed those doors then?
Like
Yeah, the sliding
wall.
door.
if you ever go to a show, like it's the fortunes of putting on a show is that the venue is the most important part.
Yeah.
Without the venue and the good relationship with the people you're putting the show on with.
Really? That's the most important part?
You don't think with Christy Pitt's relationship is not?
No, it's a huge factor and very important, but the most important part is selling tickets.
Okay, sure.
There's no show without an audience.
Yes,
But to go with what you say, it's a lot easier to sell tickets when your venue's on board.
and supportive
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
on your side.
And it's
we've all got-
inviting. That's the other
Yeah.
thing. Like, people won't show up if it's not inviting.
Yeah.
And you're 100%.
Or they'll come once, and then
I'll
they're
give
like,
you
we're
the-
not going back.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt is now that this is our job. The ticket selling is obviously at the foremost and the hardest, and if there's no anything else without the tickets,
Yes.
sure. But if I'm going to start from like step one, venue.
Yeah.
Because what
good
we learned
venue.
from the first place that we make jokes about now, if we just had a better relationship with them, it would have saved so much trial and tribulation and just
How many venues did you go through?
Well, we just did shows at first. So COVID happened. We did an outdoor show. It did really well. So the other venues found out. We sold out like what was it? I always glorify it. Exaggerate.
120 seats, we sold out twice.
So other venues
And
were just
then
on it. So like
2 other venues reached out to us. One was a weekly, one was a monthly. Then the other monthly became also a weekly.
and we then started throwing another. Like
And
we
then
started
we had
having like
and
shows
then-
4 or 5 days a week in different venues.
And then it got confusing talking to the public because every time they talked to us, we had 5 shows in different places.
Well, we weren't smart enough
Right.
then to be like, where do you live? What's closest to you? We would try to be like, we have 12 shows. So we were just, in our head, it was like...
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
We got that.
we got it. What do you...
You can do
Yeah.
whatever you
Saying
want.
like, oh, we have 12 shows going on.
Well, it was being hilarious. We had 4 or
12's
5
an
shows.
exaggeration.
Okay.
But we love a 2-show-a-night system.
Well, now we have a bunch
Because
of
we've
shows.
already committed the money, you may as well double down.
Yeah, we're renting the space, so we might
Yeah.
as well be there as much as possible.
Fair. Because now, so for producing as well, when it comes to throwing shows, like, I don't know how you guys feel, but I was doing 2 shows a month, and I thought that was overwhelming, and I cut down to 1
And you
show
were
a
doing
month.
it properly. Like, I've done your shows. Like, you were going out, you were selling tickets, you were making awareness. Like, you understood the brand behind the show.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't just about, like, that's where Ariel's conversation is hilarious. Because it is. The selling the tickets is, like,
Yeah.
that's throwing the show. No matter where it is or how many, if the audience is the most important part.
Yeah. So then how now do you go about promoting 5 nights a week, 6 nights a week at yours, 2 shows each night, where compared to just throwing one big show?
Well, that's our background. I come
Okay.
from like a sales background of face-to-face sales, and Ariel comes from like graphic design. Like if you see it, we look at it like a kitchen. I'm front of house, but he's back of house. So anything you see online, anything like design-wise, or even the club itself, the visual, Ariel created that. And then on my end, it's like instead of selling credit cards, I'm selling comedy show tickets.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's a full-time.
But I guess with comedy, it's almost like you want to go into the kitchen.
Well, I do, and he
That's
wants
what
to
it
come
is,
out and he
yeah,
wants to
yeah.
serve it, of course. But like, I don't do any graphics. So for me, it's just like I get to a lot of it is us bouncing ideas or brainstorming, and then we separate into like at the end of the day, he's right. It's all tickets at this point.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter any other question.
Yeah,
the answer is
to
tickets.
how to sell tickets, the answer is effort. There's
Yeah.
no
That's
other
it.
answer.
Just go see it.
We could sit here and tell you our specific tactics, but at the end of the day, it's effort in
Yeah.
equals effort
So then
out.
with that, if you guys, when you first started, obviously you can't have the busyness you have now. When would you say you started making money off of those tickets?
Well, that's a hilarious question. We don't
We're
have.
making
we
money.
don't make
Next
more-
year,
It's
yeah.
always
Yeah,
for-
making money.
Always the following
We're all
year.
about like
Nice to
making
know.
something that's like bigger than us. So it's like whenever the club had those opportunities, it's like let's give it a paint job. Let's I don't know. There's always renovations. We don't even have
New-
chairs yet. We don't have a
Yeah.
sign outside
Yeah.
yet. And then our ultimate goal is like it's funny when you're like when did you guys get paid? It's like well our goal is to make sure everyone else gets paid and then we'll talk. You know, like
Yeah.
let's make the club where we like it.
Yeah.
Let's have it full all the time. Let's get like the comics that are
staff
there,
paid,
the
yeah.
staff paid,
Yeah.
comics paid. Let's get there, and then we'd love to tell you those secrets.
Because yeah, but then you eventually just make the money that makes the club self-sustaining.
That's the
You're
goal.
not- Yeah, you don't really make money in Canada. You just kind of have this thing that allows you to live doing it.
Yeah.
That you love doing. That's better
Exactly.
than any other job. 'Cause
Like
that's
at first,
insane.
for sure, it
Yeah.
starts like that.
What I do a lot for my shows, I just sell the whole show as a package
Mm-hmm.
for like.
You're once a week.
Like
no.
when you're out of town.
Like I'm talking like we call them like icebreakers on tour.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's like venues will just buy a show package, and then I just put the comedians together for them. They have to sell all the tickets, and I just get a flat rate.
So you reach out to the venue saying that you have this show you want to put on at theirs?
Yeah, or a lot of them reach out to me.
He was
Yeah.
making jokes earlier. You bring the best of the best. This isn't like not everyone can do your style because yours is literally
Yeah,
your shows
you're
are
so,
by far the best.
you're so plugged into
You
the
know?
pro circuit.
But it's the
That-
one
that's-
person. It's like
That's the whole thing I wanted out of my weekly show was just like because there's no there's no quality control at a lot of venues.
A lot of venues.
There's just like it's a free for all, especially like places like Comedy Bar where you can just rent the space, and it's producer driven, and everyone who gets a spot has a friend that they have to give a spot to and their friend's not a good comic, but they're their friend, where I don't give a shit about my friends. I'm here to run a good comedy
Your
show.
friends are also the best comics. You're also in that. Like, I don't know your personal life, but your circle, like, you're one of the best comics.
Yeah, well, I try to gravitate to the people I want, like, that I emulate, Like, if you're, like, a good comic, I'm going to gravitate to you because I just like surrounding myself with that, because that's the only thing that makes you better is
100%.
Your competition.
Well, you become your friends.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're friends with shitty people, you can become a shitty person.
Yeah. You bring me down a lot.
I know. That's what I strive to do. I attach myself to way better people. I'm always like.
It's different because, like, with you, again, if the word's not even luxury, but if you have the connection and the skill set that Jeff has, where you're able to sell a package, go for it. With us, it's like we're more of a development ground. We're like, we get you ready, not even for your shows, even steps before it. So it's like we take you from, I guess, semi-pro to where you're comfortable. We're 60 seats, 55 seats. Our main concern is to fill it. So we'll give priority to people like. Is our show all bringers? No. Is our show all barkers? No. But there's a bringer and barker and showrunner that like have earned those spots. Yeah. The showrunner is working. The barker is out there. Like, you guys have been part of it. We have the barker still, you know? And we also have the bringer now where like, we don't have bringer, like our goal is to have a bringer on every show. And then from there, it's like, well, we're on every show that we're there. And then we try to give the best. Ours is a drop-in style.
Yeah,
so unless someone's booked, the best pro in the show will get the priority. And if people don't understand that or have conflict, we'll talk after. But we try to run a quality control the best of our ability. But where we're, again, it's a gym. You're there to get your sets in and get it ready.
So you don't mind if someone's bringing notes up on a Saturday, do you mean?
Well, if it's
that doesn't bug me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, no, we're a gym. Like, it's like, if it's someone like yourself,
if
that's
I was
your
paying
process.
hundreds of dollars for a set, sure.
Yeah, so if you're not paying much.
But it's like, I want the best pros coming here to have the best time, and then, cultivate a vibe for stand-up. So, and then that always
But even with the way when
priorities.
you bring up a piece of paper versus somebody else bringing up a piece of paper like myself, I'm still using that piece of paper in a different way than you would.
I'm just holding the piece
You
of
know.
paper.
You know to start
nothing on it.
No, there's nothing on it. But
It just says bring your friends down.
Yeah, then I'm like, what else do I got? And then people associate.
It's just a
people
drawing
with
of a
paper
cat.
with something funny.
Yeah.
But with you, it's just like you know to start strong and end strong. So whatever you do in that middle, like you experiment, you do what you have to do to get yourself ready. Treat it as a gym. But again, you're a pro. You know to end strong and start strong. Where like you bring someone else, like it's an open-ended question where it's like Xavi cannot bring a notepad.
Well, if we were doing a headliner night with you, and you would be making most of the money, it's like, then please deliver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's always please deliver. It's just one of those things where it's like, again, you're saying the vibe. We know that we have a barker. We know we have a showrunner. So we now need everyone else to step up. We're not like,
I will go to the note thing. This is it's still on topic, but it's. I have zero respect for Ricky Gervais as a stand-up comedian. I think he's a very funny man, makes great television. But his first comedy special, he fucking had a podium, and he kept going behind it, pretending he was taking a drink, and he's just reading his fucking notes. And I was like,
I didn't know that.
Fucking special, man.
Yeah, not on a special.
That's equivalent to also having your notes on your hand.
Yeah.
Like,
Under special, having your notes on the hand, so funny.
but it's also part of like who you are on stage. Like again, if Garrett was to bring a notepad on stage, like, I'm laughing of you just checking the notepad.
You brought this up the
or
other
like
day.
too many papers.
Like that's hilarious,
Yeah.
but not for everyone. Like someone actually struggling isn't fun, but someone who's like a master of their craft playing with
Like
something.
for me, who I would always want to see have a piece of paper in their hand, Brenton Huxtable.
I like that guy.
He's so funny.
Because like, there's no way you could fit all those one-liners on that little piece of paper. So it's like,
But he probably is just a word.
Yeah.
Bobby Knuff used to
right?
have his notebook, and he would just lift it up, and he'd do it throughout the whole set.
yeah.
And then at the end he'd reveal, he'd be like, by the way, I haven't been reading my notes, and he would just show you in big block letters. It just says, you're doing great.
That's what Desiree Lavoie would do. She'd have her book and be like, "Oh, there's no notes in here. It's just like a horse blowing a gun and just showing off the."
So that'd be more prop comedy then,
Well, it's
in
just
a sense.
a lot of comedy is being yourself, right? And we call it bobbing and weaving. Where like with our styles, it's just like we have our jokes, but we're ourselves. So for a lot of people, if they can shine with that notepad and show you who they are, go for it.
Yeah.
But if and get to a point too, like I smoke a lot of weed. I'm 40. like I don't remember everything. Like I respect those technical guys that like maybe you need a little cheat sheet.
Yeah.
Well, like Todd Graham brings his, but he's worked that into his act as well. Like
He's worked it in because he's told me why he does it because he's old, and he's like I made it a joke, but I honestly can't remember my jokes. So he has this perfect thing where he gets stopped and he's like, "What the fuck's next?" He goes, "Well, it's great to be here." Just saying. Brings out his notes. He just takes out his glasses. And it's like,
So now,
no, that's correct.
And right there, that gets the laugh. So they know that every time he goes to his notes, they're gonna get something funny.
Yeah.
But that's him. Like now he's like dropped the act and he's the guy looking. That's what I find the beauty too. You can't be all that. Like you could be all jokes, but when you see a fucking maestro revealing the character.
Word magicians.
Word magicians.
Yeah.
Yeah. With yourself now. So, what do you see with this club that you're opening? And especially that it's in St. Lucia, so it's more touristy as well.
Well, it's being opened by Scott McRae and his wife Lavinia Volney, and they're the ones that are putting it together. I'm just helping out. But yeah, what do I see with it? It's really weird opening a club where there's obviously funny people, but there's no stand-up comedy. Like the only entertainment really is
that's cool.
Like one band and karaoke.
You're starting a scene.
Yeah, and then to find comics is pretty wild.
Yeah.
So you go up to people, like you're basically soliciting people. Like you're like, hey, I saw what you did there in the karaoke. It's pretty good. You're kind of funny. Would you mind coming over to my club over here and telling jokes?
So now you're also creating comedians.
Yeah.
You build it.
Creating, yeah.
Rob Pugh told me, very funny comic. One of
Funny the best. Should be bigger.
He told me when he first started where he was out west, he didn't have a scene, so he would just go to karaoke nights and sign up.
Yeah.
And then
Do a set.
And then the thing would come, and he would just do jokes over the music.
So cool.
But then it got to the point where the guys running the karaoke knew him, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a 10-minute break. Here's some fucking comedy from Rob Pugh." You know,
Smart.
That's awesome. That's exactly what I would do. I had no idea on how to get into comedy. I thought you had to go to movies first, and then from movies you get into stand-up.
That's the route that I
Right.
took.
Yeah. So I went to film school,
So bad.
and then was like, I just want to do this thing. So I learned all about film, and then I met this guy. He was like, "Oh, I'm like an amateur comic." I'm like, "What?" In Winnipeg? Right? I'm like, I just make parody songs and do them at karaoke and try to be funny there. And then he's like, "Come on out," and it was. This show that I saw was so awful, but at the same time, so amazing.
You were in.
Because I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
These are my people.
Yeah, there's like 8
I'm gonna
people in
bond
the
with
crowd.
these people forever.
It's a 2.5-hour show that I've loved and hated every moment of it.
That's so funny.
When I started in Hamilton, same deal, where it was like there was people doing shows. So I booked with Yuck Yucks, I got excited, but then to get ready, it was like, let's hit open mics. Like it wasn't open mics like comedy open mics, it was like music open mics. You would just go, that's when you would see the skill level of people change. You could see the people go to comedy shows, and then you could see the people like any mic they can get their hands on. And then before you knew it, you have like a circle of people coming from Toronto and whatnot. But like that's when there's a scene, again, I was lucky the scene was there. But when you get to start a scene, like I promise you, if you're building a comedy club, comics will show up. Comics, there's no shortage of drought of comedians.
Yeah.
Now, there might be a shortage in Jeff's world at the best, but like in our world, there's people knocking at the door, being like, how do I...
Like you're getting
like,
Joe Schmo to just walk in and try it as well.
We're getting, because of the open mic on Fridays now, the feedback show, Monday. That's
Please
hilarious.
don't tell people our open mic.
I will not do that ever again, only on camera. Friday night, I wanted to say feedback. So Monday night at 10, we have our open mic. And now because we do that style, especially I guess maybe the Kill Tony thing where they think they're going to get seen. Now I do find a lot of the amateurs are a lot better now than when like I started. Or like the curve's crazy. But you can see the people that are like there to get booked versus the people for genuine feedback.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I also find a place like St. Lucia, you're gonna get
The best.
you're gonna get comics that are just on vacation. Like any vacation I go on, I'm setting up shows when I get there. That's a little tax secret.
That is good.
But
I don't know if I can post that.
no, you can.
Well, you can. It's just a tip.
Yeah. Took my manager, my wife's my manager, so any date I go on with her it's a tax write-off.
Right.
Hey, babe, my book
It's
this week.
business.
Yeah, we're always talking business, so
You have a show, okay?
yeah, I'm getting audited for sure.
Who I gotta blow to get a better gig?
That's so funny.
I know the CRA, they're tuning in first.
I thought you were going down the route of like you were laundering money while you were on that holiday. Okay, cool. I could post this now.
Yeah. No. I always hoop a bit of cocaine when I leave any vacation destination.
Put it on the company cover.
That's it. That's funny. So, out of you guys, who has been in it the longest?
One of these two.
Jeff?
Yeah.
I probably have.
Yeah.
So, with that, then I'm curious to know what your most memorable bomb was.
That's
You
gonna,
should ask him-
Is that gonna help sell tickets?
Ask him how long he's been doing it for.
How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing comedy for 20 years. 20 years is good. Thank you.
That's crazy.
Thank you. But yeah, it hasn't always been stand-up, but it's just anything comedy related, really. Like, we had sketch comedy for the longest time, then stand-up, then like commercial acting, then back into stand-up, and now still there.
Yeah.
But still, then putting on shows, like anything to do with comedy.
Yeah,
Literally,
gotcha.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, what was the question?
Your bomb.
Oh yeah, that old. I'm that old now. Yeah. So my worst bomb was probably. I don't know. They're all so awful. But
The most recent one is the worst one.
Yeah, exactly. But I can tell you the one that I know is like the best is when you bomb constantly. And then you become impervious to the bomb, in a way. Like, you still don't
It sounds like
it.
there's some bad
20 years of bombing, right?
Yeah, 20 years. All the,
You let your guard down.
yeah.
You become yourself. You're
What's
now
it?
like
Yeah.
again, I'm not, it's hilarious. I don't want to say I don't bomb. I obviously bomb. I'm just saying that when you go,
Boy, does
They don't hurt it.
Do I?
It doesn't hurt.
But
It's just like, you're like, well,
you're free.
if you're free, and then you're able to talk about kind of like you kind of turn on, like for me, I turn on the crowd too easily, and then I make it about me. And so I'm enjoying my bomb just as much as I'm enjoying killing. Obviously, I prefer to kill, but bomb.
I do enjoy a bomb now, like, because it's been a while since I've felt the bomb on stage, like, where I'm just like, this isn't going, like, I used to flop sweat when I'm like, this isn't going well, and I panic. Now I'm just like, fuck you guys, hate me, who cares, let's go.
Yeah, no, this guy does not like me.
And then I just
try fighting me, like, sure.
And then I just go as dirty as possible.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you don't like this, then let's see if you like this, and I just progressively get them madder at me, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
And that's
about
the
you
best
anymore.
part is like if they don't like a certain style of comedy and you're bombing, you're like, I'm gonna double down on whatever I am doing.
Yeah.
And you guys aren't gonna, because like DeBonis put it the best way. He's like, you either got to be the best on the show or the absolute worst, because either way they're going home talking about you, right?
That's great
And
advice.
especially if you're bombing, they're gonna be like, what the? Like, I'm not talking about a lame bomb. I'm like talking about something where you get in their head and they're like, what the fuck was with that one guy? That one guy is funny, but that last guy, I don't understand.
I was watching something. It was like just a YouTube video, comedians telling Norm Macdonald stories, and I think it was maybe Jim Brewer. He opened for him like way back in the day, like doing clubs, and he goes, when you open for Norm, if Norm kills, you play poker after he comes in the green room, we all play poker. He goes, if Norm bombs, he goes and stands by the door and says goodnight to every single
It's just so funny. And that's the best. Standing and watching it and looking people in the eyes as they have to walk past you, and they go, they either don't say anything or they're like, that good.
I love watching a comic pack up his fucking camera after a bomb, though.
Just the snap
You're the tripod.
They thought this one was going to give them the clip.
This
was going to be the one.
If the bomb is that bad, it would be the clip. They just don't have to.
I was hosting.
Yeah, they don't have the wherewithal to put it out.
Put it out.
Yeah.
I was hosting a show, and I brought a comic up, and he was making fun of me. He's like, said some jokes, and I just went, where's his camera?
Saving the memory.
That's so funny.
Shut up, my camera!
But not even like a
Did you put your
plug.
face in it first and then turn it up?
Yes, you just.
I've whispered into so many cameras in the back. I'm like, you're bombing. I'm good at this.
He has to review the handle.
Oh no.
I'm sure you guys see this because you guys throw shows every day and you see the faces, but is there a smart way to approach how many shows you do in a week? Because, like, for example, people post, oh, this is my 1,000th show, and then that got me thinking. So, like, I started recording it, so it's like, all right, I'm at 200-something shows since I first started, like, recording my jokes. Like, how can people reduce that number, or do they just keep showing up?
I mean, I can answer that question. Just ask a lot of questions, be open, be porous, and be self-aware. There's nothing worse than a non-self-aware comic. I think we've all been that comic at times, for sure.
Yeah.
But there's nothing worse than a comic who comes in, thinks they're way better than they are, and then they just fucking eat a dick every time you see them.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but then they don't have they're just like, they just keep. Eventually, you're gonna figure it out if you just keep hammering at it. But you'll learn much quicker if you have that ability to go, okay.
We tell people, sorry.
Yeah, well, like how do I actually improve?
Yeah.
Right, and then we might not have the answer for you specifically or whoever.
Like, we opened a club because that's how we got
Yeah,
stage
no one was booking us, bro.
So that's how
literally we were like, fuck
We're
it.
like, we want to be better, we want to catch up to our peers, and this is how. And then it's funny when you ask the time number. So it's like when you start, we tell people you want to get 300 sets in. 300 sets, you'll be comfortable with memorizing your bit. You'll be comfortable just doing stand-up.
But they also have to be working on stuff.
100%.
Because, like, you can go up there and, like, loiter. Like, someone can loiter.
And not do any
and
material,
not do any
and just
material,
pander.
and just, like, pander and just, like... But they're not getting better in a way. Like, you're gonna... I don't know. You're gonna naturally get better.
You'll get more comfortable on stage.
But if you're just doing the same nothing over and over again...
It's only going to be as good as nothing can be.
Exactly.
When I was on Yuck Yuck's Fast Track, which is their Wednesday nights, so it was like every Wednesday I was doing the show with the same group of people, and this one guy, same set, every fucking week. And then he said to me one time, he goes, I don't get it. He goes, I've been doing this same 7 minutes for 5 years, and it hasn't gotten me anywhere. That's the fucking problem.
You're not changing.
I think you just
Even if you did the same 7 minutes and then change the pacing, the timing, the order, like you can still do the same thing, but if it's like the same verbatim of when you started, there's no point. There's just no point in going and doing...
Because you're just verbally jerking off. You're not actually doing the craft. You're just releasing endorphins.
So how many times did you try that before you say it's...
Okay, so wait, I'm going to rewind and go back. So it's like we tell people 300 sets to get comfortable. I'm going to amend that now. With 300 sets, taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And then we say 1,200 sets is when you can kind of gauge, like,
if you actually want to do it.
Is this my job? Am I going to give up everything? Like,
am I going to commit my life to what? Because you'll learn what stand-up truly is.
You'll miss weddings. You'll miss funerals. You'll miss things in that.
Right?
Funerals?
That's deep. Okay.
So I'm just being hilarious. So
we went to your grandmother's.
So from there, what happens is after that, it's like now it's like, okay, so how many? Try to get an hour of stage time a week. Like if you look at the guys that are the girls, the greats that've done it, they get I don't know,
way more than an hour.
No, but like in my head, it's like an hour minimum.
Yeah.
Each week, you should be looking to achieve through the 5 minutes, through the 7 minutes, through the 10.
It's also not hard and fast because you get some people who are just anomalies, right? Like
Jack Lawrence.
We have this new girl, Orly. She's done 10 sets. She's like
a natural.
She's like a 4-year comic, 10 sets in. It's crazy. And so it's like not everyone, but if you want to be a stand-up, go and take it serious, grind at it.
Yeah.
And watch other people. Watch the people you look up to. Like, these guys...
Watch the people you don't
How many
like.
sets did I just watch? Like, I come to Toronto before I hopped on the bus. I was like, oh, Jeff's on. I'm going to watch this. Like, watch people you respect. It's the only way you're going to... And respect people. A lot of people in this game, for some reason, have that chip on their shoulder that they're already jaded or entitled. Where it's like...
I cried for 20 minutes. I'm good.
I just love stand-up.
I yelled at a bunch of amateurs from the stage because I host every Wednesday at the corner. They do it's the bucket show, and then at the end, all the amateurs put their name in, and there's like a shotgun of 5 comics get pulled, and then it's so funny because there's 3-minute sets, and when that 5th name gets pulled. And all these amateurs just get up and leave. Like, I'm like, you can't do 3 more minutes of your fucking night. Like, watch the show.
When I started, I don't remember. I remember we supported each other. I remember it was like, now granted, when I would go, when I started, you'd show up at a show, you'd get the stage time. Yeah. It wasn't like you'd show up hoping or like, hi, I'm here if anyone didn't. Yeah. It was like there was 15 of us, we all got on. Yeah. Well, yeah, you saw that. Like,
so many.
I started in
there was 18 names in the bucket last night for the amateur, like.
For 5 spots.
5 spots. So 13 people came out and just went home.
Yeah.
Just put right there. They can't wait the extra, like, the subway doesn't stop till 1:30. You can't just support
3
your
more
last
minutes.
friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all peers, competition or not, however you look at it. Like,
Well, it's a group effort. I know it looks like a solo effort, but it's very much a group effort, getting you to there.
And I don't like if I go to the Wednesday at the corner and the show's light, I sit in the crowd. I'm just like, I sit here and just to, like, and all the comics hanging in the back, like, just fill the seats, guys. We're all fucking here all night.
When I filled in to host, all the comics filled in, and there was this couple who showed up late, had no idea what was going on. They were all comics, and then I started doing crowd work. And I'm like, "What's your name?" And the guy's like, "My name's Joe." I'm the owner of the club, so I'm just doing crowd work with him. But then the comics are all laughing. And then this couple is like, so they're laughing too because they're laughing. And then they're like, "Yeah." He's like, "What do you do for a living, Joe?" And he's like, "I do construction." And I was like, "Hey, nice." And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What was your most recent project?" He's like, "I don't know. I built a place similar to this." But then as the show went on, I kept bringing up the comics who were coming from the crowd, and then the lady in the date, she was like, are all the people over there comedians? I'm like, yeah, they've been watching you all night.
Nice. Oh man. So with now you guys, how often would you hit an open mic to try material, or do you ever?
I don't know.
Or do you
like,
just wait till
a good
your
question.
shows and then you? Just...
So, I don't know. I guess technically Monday I did an open mic, but it was like, it was at a brewery in the Junction. But I don't know. It's Steve Patterson was the host, who's very famous, and it was like Martha Chavez, Elvira Kurt, and Pat Thornton, and then me.
it's like a showcase.
Yeah, it was like a.
It's like a
that
kid
was,
test.
I guess, an open mic, but I don't know. They paid me.
Yeah. But then in terms of working material,
Well, if it was worth
Well, I get
because
some.
did you work on material there or did you do a set?
I worked on some stuff, and then I just drove it home because there's a lot of people there for the show. So,
But then now to work a joke.
so I've got the luxury of the Wednesday night, which I do 10 minutes off the top, and then whatever I want in between, but slide of jokes here and there. I've got my Thursday night weekly, and then I'm working every weekend. So like, I don't know. I don't do a lot of open mics, but I will do them.
Yeah.
I just like if.
But you have the access to those two shows.
Yeah, like if I don't have something lined up, I will go find something.
Okay.
But I don't really slug it out in the mics too much, just because I have other outlets to work my.
Because you get paid to do what you want to do. But an open mic, if it is of value to you, like if there's some open mics that will have like 20 people, and you're like, oh, and they're giving me 15 minutes, I will go to this open mic because now my value is in working on this material in front of these people.
But there's also times like I don't work on Sundays anymore just because me and my wife like to day drink. That's what we do on Sundays. So I'm like, I'm not booking anything on Sunday nights. But then like I don't know, Mondays are just weird for me. So, but I'll go out if I have something new and I'm like, I gotta try this, and like. Yeah. If I'm trying to figure out how to work a joke, I'll go out and just hit whatever I can just to try and do it.
Was there any point when you first started off, how many mics would you go in a week?
Oh, I remember my day job at CTV. I had a big desk calendar, and I remember when I got read the riot.
The Riot Act?
No, not the riot. What
What job was this?
No, it was in comedy. I went to do Hunter Collins' show at the old Vapor Central, and he's like, he's like, hey man, how you been? I haven't seen you lately. I go, yeah, I haven't done a show in 4 months, because that's when I started. It was like, I wasn't doing comedy. I was just like doing open mics just to tell girls I did I did comedy.
Bombing.
But then I remember Hunter was just like, dude, listen. He's like, either do it or don't. He's like, you're funny enough to do it. So I encourage you to do it, but if not, like, get out of the way, man. Like, you're coming here. You're coming here after 4 months to my show, which is paid. And now I'm taking a spot from somebody who's taking it serious and taking money from them, which, like, I don't know, they probably needed more than I did.
I think we all get that talk at some point.
Yeah, and then that was
like a pretty common standard.
But then that was just like, but I was like, I think I was 3 or 4 years I've been just doing mics every couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, I remember the next day I was looking at my desk calendar and I was like, fucking fill it. And it was just like everything
You gave it
fill.
your all.
And but that was like, back then you could,
There were mics.
like there was lists of like, here's the mics. There's
How many were there?
Did you
Dom
Dom
Parade-
On Tuesday you could get up 7 times.
Dom paraded
At
50 mics
Yeah.
in a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That was kind of recent.
That was pre-pandemic.
Yeah, no, but like when I started, I remember you come to Toronto, it's like you could get like 6 sets in. They were like 4-minute sets.
Dude,
But you're
me and a former friend, Kagan, we did 600 sets in a year, but that's because we held each other accountable. You know, it was
Yeah.
like
You said.
it was no days off. It was like, bro, we're
But
going
also
out
it
tonight.
becomes your personal hangout time. Like that's what I loved about when I was doing a lot of open mics. Was like these are my friends. I'm going there. We're hanging out and we're making a night of hopping around and like you're experiencing the night. Every night it's something different.
Yeah.
And you're just chilling and having a good time laughing.
and that's how you get booked. Someone would see you, they'd run a show, and they'd be like, "Hey, you were
Yeah.
good. You want to come do my show?"
Yeah.
It was just like it was a different vibe, a little. But to answer your question, how many mics and open mics? It's like it's a game, right? So it's like when you ask someone like Jeff or Ariel or myself, we provide shows
Yeah.
where we don't necessarily go to open mics because we know. You know this too. You can read the room, and you can start strong and end strong, and in the middle you can try whatever you want, as long as you leave them wanting more, and you start extremely very well, you know. But then it's like with Garrett, like he said, if he needs to go to the open mics and he's getting 15 minutes and he's getting paid, why not? You know, but it's just like for someone just getting started for those 300 sets, if you're taking it serious, go to every open mic you can.
Music.
The
open
only
mic.
catch is it's hard because go to music open mics.
Produce.
Because like when you go to now open mics,
Oh yeah,
music open
that
mic?
was
we
the
would run music open
Yeah.
mics all the time.
All the time.
Between setup.
they would give you 3 comics in between each music act.
Some
Yeah.
comic recently, he was talking to us, and he's like, he's new. I don't remember his name, but he's like, oh yeah, because like shows today are so good compared to what they were. And the guy was like, I was on stage, and there were not too many audience members. There was like 6 people, and and then he's like, and I was on stage, and I told a joke that I thought would kill, like it was my killer. And then he goes, I'd say this joke. And nothing. All I heard was the fridge. And I was like, go fuck yourself. I'm like, you know how many fridges I've performed in my life? I love the sound of it.
How many times when people would just
You
like
could tell
throw a
the
show?
Yes, at least the power's on in this place.
People wouldn't even tell the audience there were shows. You would just show up next thing you know, it's like you're now.
Crown and Dragon, ambush comedy.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to start a comedy show, and if you're not into it, too fucking bad.
You're here and your food's coming.
And the amount of times that people would try to fight the comics are screaming obscenities in the bar to get their attention. And it was so fun and fun.
There's no more. There weren't open mics, but there were such good bar shows, Eaton House and Spirits, which were ran by Joanna Downey.
Yours with the wings.
But they were just
Whatever
like
that was
Fox and the
fucking
Fiddle
awesome.
at
Fox and the
on
Fiddle.
Sunday with
Josh Elijah.
no,
that was
but
awesome.
That was like a Wednesday.
Daryl Purvis.
Daryl
and
Purvis,
Jason
yeah.
Blanchard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's because for me, it's stand-up is at its core, it's a risky business proposition. If I'm a bar, like even the
We
guys,
make jokes.
the guys who run our bar upstairs, they pulled us aside and be like, "Yo, these comics can't hang out upstairs."
They say crazy shit.
Like they're just in the booth talking about like fucking abortion
Killing.
and then this couple's just trying to enjoy the dinner. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like so it is a
But then
liability.
they get free
so-
show entertainment.
And like we make
But
jokes.
they would have come downstairs if they wanted that.
Yeah.
Like open mics are where bars, like your bar's closing. If you're throwing an open mic and no one, there's not even drink tickets. Like that's like a last resort. No one
Yeah,
free
yeah.
comedy show open mic. That's not good
Ooh,
for
you're
anyone.
rolling the dice.
You got to provide value at all times.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if it's
Okay.
but it's a different game. Like
Yeah.
when we started, like you're saying, things have changed. It's like nowadays, if someone throws a show, they have friends. Their friends throw shows. It's like you'll say the same people on each show.
Yeah.
We're even guilty of it. We have one guy that barks. There's the 2 of us, so the 3 of us are on every show.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do doubles. Sometimes we put the kid up with people. But if he's gonna go out there and work his balls off to bring people in, and the 2 of us open the club, like we're not there every day. There's 3 spots right there.
Yeah.
You add a showrunner. There's a spot. You add now maybe a bringer,
Yeah.
and there it is. There's now 2 or 3 spots.
That's the format.
And like if these guys show up, sorry guys, they're theirs.
Yeah,
Like, you know, like they're not
Just-
for
you're done.
like you're no chance. But that's but when we started, there were shows, there were mics, there were like you could go.
But we also made shows happen.
But we watched other
Like
people
I
at the
ran,
mics.
I ran shows when I was in that like 2 to 4 year window. It's similar now.
That's
It's
how
how
we
the
met.
club became
You
this.
met me at my show.
Yeah, this is how the club became a thing. It's like it's just if the opportunities aren't there, go make them.
Yeah, well, that's
Go make them.
the next step.
Stop yapping and
Okay,
do
so
something.
now with that, when it comes to the making side of things, I'll start with you guys. What's a lesson you learned about producing that you wish you learned sooner?
Cool.
A lesson.
And then you guys could think about when it
mean,
comes to
I'm
opening.
ready.
When it came to opening your club, what's the lesson you've recently learned that you wish you knew sooner?
Well, a lesson that you learn just by putting on shows
Yeah.
is it takes, like, eventually, if you just keep doing it, it's gonna happen. So just
Okay.
know that. So like I couldn't learn that
Like,
lesson
if you
until
build it, they will come to
yeah,
it. Okay.
until a year later kind
Yeah.
of thing. So like if you're just constantly doing shows,
Yeah.
it's gonna become something. Consistency. Like it's like the birdseed thing.
My first Dope and Mike, used to have a show called Dope and Mike. 5 years I ran it.
I thought it was 6.
5, baby.
Okay.
5. And first show had 3 people there.
Mm.
And then it just slowly built and built, and then all of a sudden it was just like full rooms.
It becomes its own little
Yeah.
institution, and it becomes the place where people hang out.
And then the rug gets pulled out from under you one day.
Yeah, because everything's shutting down.
Yeah, because you're in a weed lounge. You're in a weed lounge, and then weed becomes legal. So what you're doing now becomes illegal. I don't know.
Irony.
Such
irony.
fucking so weird.
That's comedy, baby. That's comedy.
Fair.
Yeah, the cops didn't care we were smoking weed inside until weed was legal.
So you were allowed to smoke weed.
Yeah, and they're like,
Yeah.
now you're breaking a bylaw.
Oh, no.
Bylaw officers got fuck all to do.
Damn. Okay. I thought you were speaking of COVID happened.
No.
The legality of
No
weed.
legality of weed.
Mm.
Yeah, and then
It became like
And
cigarettes.
there's nobody higher on a horse than a bylaw officer.
That's
fair.
hilarious because they're
That's
on a
fair.
horse.
Yeah.
Nice.
Literally on
And then for you guys, if anybody wanted to start and open their own club, what's something that you've learned recently that you wish you knew when you first opened?
I mean, we're idiots. Like we put on way too many shows too quick. Like if we took our time and
Just started
slowly built
Saturday.
the place, just done Friday, Saturday, and built the place.
Made it full.
But we already threw the money at the rent, so we were like,
And we didn't want to go back to the jobs. Like,
Oh,
we may as
gotcha.
well just be open. We already paid the rent, you know what I
Gotcha,
mean?
yeah.
And so we rarely like put ourselves backwards to go forward.
Are
so
there places that would let you just use it for like the weekend?
probably.
Except for the
That's what
place.
that's what we did with the lot.
Yeah.
Like
Gotcha.
we just they had this space that had a stage and nice lights that went around it. Like
Yeah.
it was a cabaret.
It was awesome.
It was
Yeah.
ready for
And
us.
exactly, it was ready, and we just used it as a stand-up comedy club.
And you just went in one day, or how did you find that spot? Did you go there as a bar and just was like, all right?
It was a show for North by Northeast that we
Okay.
were a part of, and they just used that as a venue.
Mm.
And then we're like, what do you guys? Because
What else
we've never
do you do?
seen this,
Yeah.
right? So like, what else do you use this for? And they're like, oh, it's closed most of the time. And they're like, can we come in
Yeah.
and start a comedy club here every weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting into the habit now too. Like when I walked into the space, whenever I walk into new spaces,
You
that's
see
something-
shows.
Yeah, I see. It's like what a show works.
That's Ariel's-
We do that all the time.
Every
Yeah.
second of it's part of the producer game. To
Yeah.
answer your question, I'm going to answer like theirs, but it makes sense for ours too.
Yeah.
Where it's like what I wish I did different. When I started, I was at a point in my life where like I guess all my friends were taking different routes and getting successful that I needed kind of a new friend group, and I kind of felt like so I wanted the approval of the comics so much that like all my Facebook friends, all my social media friends were comics. But looking back, it's like, dude, I should have just got the people that loved me as a comic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like fans.
So good.
Like the comics I would have seen over time, where it's like my Facebook, like I have Facebook friends and like 3,000 of them are comics, where it's like that could have been 3,000 fans that like would come to shows, buy merch, and like even have relationships with outside of comedy. It's just one of the, you know
Well,
what I'm
that's
saying?
because I think the game's changed. Is now is
It's
no
a social
longer,
media world now.
Well, it's
not-
just about it's a marketing game now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I've been so anti-social media about most of my comedy career that I'm like, well, I probably should have embraced it. Fucking. But I remember.
Do you feel like it's now too late, or?
nah.
It's never too.
I don't.
No.
It doesn't matter.
Jeff's
I
hilarious.
don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Like, it's, I'm not.
Yeah.
It has the content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never. I'd like more people in the seats, but I don't need the venues to be bigger. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm not looking to be a fucking like. You know, I don't want to be famous. I don't know. It's so much bullshit that comes with that. I like doing what I do and fucking having my anonymity in.
I struggle with that word too.
Animal titty.
Animal titty.
titty. Yeah. I need my.
But yeah, and it's I don't know. It's just I honestly do this because it's so fucking fun, and that's pretty much all I give a shit about. I'm gonna enjoy myself, and I'm past the point where I'm not competitive. I don't fucking like I used to see new comics show up and be like, fuck this guy, you know. And now I see new young talent. And I'm like, fuck, that's awesome, man. Let's foster that and fucking make it something better, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think social media is also just one piece, right? Like we still bark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But we don't look at social media like we're not trying to go viral. We look at it like
ads.
300 people see it. That's 300 people that saw it. We don't look at it like.
I will tell you the problem. My theory of the problem with what's happening to like.
Good theory.
He knows. The theory.
I already know the theory before.
What's happening?
I can tell that it's going to be a good theory.
what I feel is happening to the local comedy scene. We're sinking because of the popularity of social media. Like when I was first starting out, there was maybe 4 comics in the world that could sell out the arena.
The world.
Yeah.
You know, like fill up the ACC, and now it's fucking once a month. And then people are spending like $180 to go see Bert Kreischer, and that's their comedy budget. You know, they don't have.
He's taking the shirt off of my back.
That's it.
But it's like. But it's
20 years.
It's all the power to these people to sell the tickets, but the trickle down effect is killing the local comedy scene
For sure.
because every single fucking weekend in Toronto now, all the theaters are full.
Except here's where I disagree, because it's like we bark at those shows, and the amount of people that come, we'll go right to them. We'll go to Bert Kreischer's fans and be like, "Come,
You'll like it.
You'll like it."
I'm gonna jump.
I see it as an opportunity. If the ACC is selling out every month, that means that people are here.
Because that's all we need.
That means we don't need to hunt. Yeah,
the whole year we just need, those are our numbers.
Yeah, it's like
we sell out every show for 6 days a week. It's the same number as the Social Make Arena.
You just gotta hunt it. You know what I mean?
But I'm on Jeff's side.
It's a money thing.
I think
hard,
the 2 things that killed stand-up comedy, or like tickets would make it significantly harder, is 1, once a month there's a big name that they're spending money, and 2, and it's no disrespect to amateur comedians because I was guilty of it when I started. They put on shows, they put on mics, and now it's like the value of comedy where it's like, so if you put on a free show, a free open mic. Between that and that, it's like, why would someone pay the money to come see us?
You gotta add value to.
You need value on your shows,
just so that people appreciate
and trust. So they laugh. If you put on a free show, people are not giving any laughter.
That's forever been the case. Like even running the lot, and I'd be like, same thing. Like you have to go out and bar and talk to people and be like, hey, come to the show. We got these 2-for-1 tickets, and they're like, oh, I've been to a comedy show before, and I'm like, what was the comedy show? Was it an open mic? And then they're like, well, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, it was like your friend who tried doing it, right? And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, don't go to those shows, like support, but understand that that's not.
Dude, when I moved here, and I'm gonna even drop his name because like I respect what he's done for everything and who he is. I call it the Ben Backus effect. That like you would literally go to like people, you would bark at them.
Did you say you're not gonna drop his name and then?
No, I said I am gonna drop his name. I called it because he's got all this success now. But it's like we would bark at people, and they'd be like, "Oh, I don't want to see a comedy show." And it's like, "Oh, you went to a baking like
you saw a banquet show."
And they're like, "Yeah, but this was before the hype. This was before the fans. This is literally like." People would see something they didn't like, and now they're never going to a comedy show again. Yeah. They'll go to so many people when we started barking. They'd be like, "Oh, I go to LA once a year. I go to New York. Like, why don't you watch comedy here? Yeah. Oh, because you saw Backus call you your girlfriend. You know, like again, it worked for him long term. Yeah. But like open mics and big names kind of make it harder for everyone else.
Yeah.
Because it's the trickle down effect.
Yeah.
It's like with the big names. It's like Jeff said, it will literally make it harder for us to bark because the budgets are gone.
Yeah.
And with the amateur guys, it's like if you put on a crappy show, you're leaving like a taste. If you put on a crappy free show, you're now like tarnishing people's mouth and like their taste buds.
And it's like, I think, I don't know. There's things like where you're tarnishing people's taste buds is like Yuck Yucks is so guilty for this. If you're coming up the Yuck Yucks chain, the first club you headline is the downtown Toronto club.
It should be the last one.
It should be the last one. And it should take a long fucking time to get there.
Yeah.
And it's because Mark Breslin doesn't drive, so he's not going to go watch you in Oshawa on your first headlining set, you know? Like, he wants to just come down. But the thing is, the club holds 300 people. And Saturday night, it's filled. And these people are coming in from wherever. They're fucking getting babysitters. They're paying for parking. They're going out for dinner, all this shit. And then to see somebody their first time fucking headlining, you're just like, what the fuck did we just spend all this, like, it was just time and energy.
Yeah.
So. But I do respect it. If you have talent and you don't want to do the producer route, that's the route you go. Like, at least for now, regardless of how anyone's got feelings, like, I respect if you have a natural talent, it's some way to get paid every weekend. You get to go travel, you put up in hotels, you get to work the most. And
just be a comic.
We're big fans. Like, we tell people.
Well, I mean, I worked for Mark for years.
We get people ready for those shows. Like you said, it's 300 seats. We're only 55. We get people ready for that next step. Yeah. We hope that, like, we're very fortunate in the 3 years we've been open. We've seen people that we believe in that have now gotten signed. Yeah. You know, they go out now, and it's just like it's just a cool vibe. Where it's like it is done a little outdated, and there are things that need to change.
I just think that's the weirdest thing they do. Like I came through the Object
System. It's a Tuesday thing where it's like, hey, you're here all day for $5, and it's like, well, now these people, like, they're either going to get hammered or they're just going to think this is comedy.
Yeah. Like, this is what it is.
Yeah. Like it is for us, but it's like the audience should have the illusion it's bigger. The audience should have the illusion that every show is an icebreaker show. Yeah. It shouldn't be that every show is a $5 watch all you can eat comedy. Yeah. It just shouldn't be like that.
Yeah. I will, like, I'm not talking shit about Yucks because I came up in the system and
we had some good time.
Yeah, I got better at being a comic. Yeah, because you get put in the fucking weirdest places. Just like these weird towns you've never heard of, and it's some fucking like community center or Legion Hall. And
I booked a lot of those.
Yeah. And it's just, and it's like you're slugging it out, man. Like you're doing shows where there's long tables going this way, and there's just backs to you. Because people are just talking to their friends and they're just fucking like... Yeah. And you're like,
but that's comedy. And again, it's like a lot of people come to us and they want sets. If you're not going to sell your own tickets, that's what you... Like, I'm not saying you deserve that. But that's the eye of
comedy. It's a part of comedy.
If someone is going to book you and you're not responsible for any ticket sales, that's what you're going to get. That's... 100%.
Once, like,
because they're not show producers, they're just putting on a show.
They're putting on a show. It's full. You did a sold out show. You're getting paid. You're getting hotel. You might even get food out of it. Like you're getting. That was the dream. The original dream when I started this. Like again, I've never had the fortunate of to. Like I work with Yucks. I've done guest spots. I've worked door. You know, like on my comedy journey, Backroom Comedy Club is what I have. Yeah. You know, no one else, and I'm proud of where I've gotten, and I've gotten validation from my peers, great. But like with the Yuck stamp, that's like in Canada, you know you're a black belt of your trade. That's how you know. You know, they both have it. It's literally that's the best of best in Canada. Yeah. Talent wise, you go through Yucks.
What I like being out of that system now is, and
when did you leave? It's been a while now.
It'll be 3 years in June.
You can put on your own show,
but that's what I prefer because. Yucks, you would just get like paired with people. You're like, now I gotta spend a weekend in London with this fucking guy, and just like, and the
show doesn't make sense.
You don't really have, you had no control over who you were working with. Which I'm not naming names, but you booked me and the same guy so many fucking times. Never once have I been in a car with that guy.
That's so
never we've gone.
To be fair, we like if you go behind the curtain, it was like sometimes we were being told to get people work, right?
Yeah.
So it's like okay, I gotta get these people work. I'm just gonna put them together.
No, I get why he was working, and I get why I was working. We just never liked each other, and like it didn't matter how far the fucking show was. There was no.
They're not traveling together.
Yeah, we went to Sudbury separately.
You know,
4-hour drive.
Since my first day in comedy, like you've always put on your own shows, even with Yucks. Like it's funny that this is the meeting, but like you've been a producer day one. So like someone like yourself, like it is cool to go to Yucks and get paid to do comedy, but like you see the big, like we call it the bigger picture. Like you see, why would I get $1 a ticket when I can work?
Get $20.
When I can get $20 a ticket, put on the show that I'm curating the lineup. Mm-hmm. You know, like for us, it sucks that I only do 10-15s, but like that's we open a gym.
One of the one of the straws that broke my Yucks camelback was I did a show at a brewery near my cottage, and then I followed up with the guy. Like a week later, I was like, hey, I just want to follow up. He's like, yeah, that show was great. He's like, I even got contacted by Yucks. They booked 3 shows with me. I was like, excuse me? And I was working with them.
Yeah.
And that fucking snake, worm, piece of shit, I'll say right into the fucking camera, fuck you, Alex Ross. This fucking guy, as my agent, stole my gig.
Wow.
Like, the fucking sleaziest fucking shit I've ever seen. And that was one of the things I'm like, fuck it, I'm out of here, man. You guys are fucking pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Again, it's,
Fuck you,
at
Alex
the end of the
Ross.
day, everyone's trying to do their thing. We're fortunate enough that we get to do both sides of it. You know, like, honestly, if that's the motivation, like, you've always done these shows, but, like, if that's the motivation that makes you throw the best shows, like, ask Ariel, I love Spike.
He loves Spike.
So, like, you do it. But
He gets out of bed for Spike.
so at the end of the day, no, but it's at the end of the day.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, it's just like being a producer is a different leg. Where it's like I would love to just like a lot of comics are guilty of thinking that their 7 to 10 minutes on stage is the job.
Yeah,
Where it's like the reality
way
of
beyond
it
that.
is that like it's depends what you want out of it. You know?
I'd like to hear do you guys still think that, like, because we'll have comics all the time, they'll do like a mediocre 10 and they're like, where's my $40?
Yeah.
And you're like,
my 40.
you were mediocre
you
at
booking me
best.
next week?
You were
My
mediocre
headline
at
is
best,
pretty
you
good.
sold no tickets, get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah.
Or how about that? How about people that tell you they can sell tickets?
And
And they don't.
and
And
don't.
we're the pricks because we made a deal and
Oh my god.
My problem as a producer with dealing with comics is everyone's so fucking sensitive about their social media that like just press the button.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
someone invited me to collab?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your show's over, delete it. It's fucking
Yeah.
just help out, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand. Like it's just such an easy thing to be like.
Yeah.
And if
You should be-
if you don't want your people to know you're doing my show, then don't do my fucking show.
You should also be
okay?
excited to be on every show.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
how you build a fan base. Come
Yeah.
see me tonight.
Yeah.
well, that's what we're trying to teach people too. With our model, it's like, hey guys, at the end of the day, like we can get you to where you're comfortable to go showcase at Yucks.
Yeah.
But like with us, it's like we can teach you how to sell tickets.
Yeah.
You know, we can teach you how to like put on your own show.
But that's what I find crazy at Humber. They don't teach you how to put on your own show.
Crazy.
Like when we were there, like
Reach out to us. We'll teach that
yeah,
course.
well, like no, it's a great course idea. It was like if you just had it's like each person in class has to put on their own
Brilliant.
show,
That's so
right?
great.
And
Or like
like,
pop-up idea.
yeah, whether it's at comedy bar, it doesn't matter where it is either. And it's like maybe you get more points for having it in a unique
Backroom
environment.
comedy.
Yeah, back room. Yeah, exactly. Like you can just like put on the show wherever.
Yeah.
But your whole job is to put on the show, and you get graded on how many like
People
people
you
can
bring
come.
out,
Yeah, you
that's
can
so
bring
smart.
out.
That's
Fucking
fucking smart.
brand.
I love that.
We get
Exactly.
tour with ideas all the time where I'm like, why don't we reach out to Comedy Bar and like see if they want a producer class? Because like where we're at
Well,
now,
they
it's
already
like,
have a
that's
class, but the idea of a producer,
Yeah,
you say
a producer
Yeah,
specific.
No, but
Sorry,
that's,
what?
we're on the same page, and I'm glad you brought
Yeah.
us together today because it's just like same thing where it's like, what do you want out of it? That's
Yeah.
the whole thing. It's like
Yeah.
I did business for a long time where it was sales and the 8 secrets to success. But number 7 was like know what you want. And so many people when you ask them, it's like, well, what do you want out of this? They have no idea.
Yeah.
And it's like start there.
First, I want to say thank y'all for showing up. This has been a really fun conversation, and yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. But to finish this off, and I was hoping Neil would have been here for this question, but festivals. When it comes to comedians who are trying to elevate their game, is the festival run important? And how do you go about finding out or sourcing these festivals to apply
Well,
to?
we'll have to not answer because neither of us have done festivals.
Well, like Brantford Festival.
Yeah, I've done like JFL 42 when they booked 900 people.
When you start stand-up comedy, you're like obsessed with credits.
Yeah.
It's like the most important thing ever to get every credit possible.
Okay.
If you have the backing and you think you believe in yourself, go to the festivals. You're a comic. Go see. The whole point of this game
Yeah,
is to see if you're
do every
consistent
cool
everywhere.
thing, yeah.
If you can do it, go do it.
Yeah.
And for us, it's just like again,
Wasn't
same
drugs.
argument as like with my comedy career. I'm at back room. You'll eventually see me other places.
Yeah,
right
we
now,
tour, we go.
You know, like once a month we're at a different venue. But
Yeah.
like right now, we're not like we built a gym.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
but if you can, if you get an opportunity to do the festivals, do the festivals.
Yeah.
Get paid in exposure.
I mean,
Love it.
these guys have done most.
He does the best festival, like, fuck JFL, no, I'm not gonna, you know? Like, this is the best festival in the game right now.
The Toronto Comedy
Icebreaker.
Icebreakers.
So it's a good festival, but it's not going to get you anywhere. It's going to give you a good weekend and give you a good time.
Good meal.
Yeah, good meal.
If you're an
At the
audience
big
watching
table.
this-
I love that table.
And the radio,
That was my whole goal to-
show,
Yeah, we
to get
the
you some money.
The CBC, but still, there's not even
My
a lot
whole
of money
goal
in
to get on that festival was to eat at that table.
I'd say if it's a good place where if you're a comedy fan, you'll get to see the best in Canada. And if you're a comedian, that's how you know you're there.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
of those
You've
shows are
arrived.
incredible.
You know?
Yeah.
All of them. Like, it's literally like...
So then, are festivals necessary, or can you make it without it?
I
So what's your
think
definition of
One would argue. One would that one would argue that like you do what you just do everything and you find out what doesn't work for you and then do what does.
Okay.
That's all it is.
And here's the beauty about festivals. Like I run 2 festivals. They're both in small towns, and it's like Niagara on the Lake I couldn't go there and do a weekly show, a monthly show. Like, it's just, there's not enough people to sustain it. But if you go in once a year and just give it to them all at once, and then you fucking leave. And then that's nice. You go in, you make your money, and then you just go to the next town. Yeah. I'm actually starting a third festival next year in
Can you book us? We've never done a festival.
in Fenland Falls. We're calling it
the ice cream.
Fentanyl Falls?
No, Fenland Falls. We're calling it the Fenland Fools Comedy Festival.
I thought it was going to be ice cream, you scream, we all pour it, the scream comedy.
If we did teach a course, Producers 101, you would teach Producers 102.
Okay.
It's just like, you would obviously do your own thing. You'd be jack of all trades of it all.
I don't know. I like having the control of what's going out there and what I don't know.
The taste in people's mouths, the vibe.
Yeah, like, because it's my name on the product pretty much, so it's just like, I want to make sure.
Jeff Icebreaker Paul.
Yeah. My grandfather, they tried to make him change that name when he came over, but.
You can't go by your name. You're going to be Jeff Paul now, no longer Jeff Icebreaker. I can barely say this. It's Jeff Icebreaker.
I'm surprised the next one wasn't called Trustful.
But it's, I don't know, I produce so I can just do what I want to do and not have, not worry about, I don't know, like the quality of something. Or
Gotcha.
Like, I don't know. But I also gig a ton on other people's shows, and so it's nice to not have to produce, but it's also, I like just having the control over who I'm working with. And
Well, it's the product at the end of the day. Like, I'm fortunate when I wasn't at the level I needed to be, Ariel was there. I'm also a freestyle rapper, so I would cheat. Before I would introduce people, I would rap to get the energy there.
No,
but it's like, it's one of those things where, like, remember, the comedy comes first. It's like, yeah, I'm telling people don't do free shows, but, like, you need to know your value.
Just do freestyle.
It's time to go.
I'm going to hunt down this terrorist now, watch this drive. That's it.
All right, but on that note, everybody, thank you all for tuning into the 2 Degrees podcast, brought to you by the Play On Foundations. Don't forget, this is a very precarious spot to be.
Here's a free lesson, everybody.
He's gonna kill it.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Don't forget, we are live every second Wednesday at Comedy Bar as well for the 2 Degrees podcast live, and I bring out an industry professional to talk shop with me and bring out some of my favorite comedians that I see in the city, as well as don't forget Peeled Fruit. Go buy that book.
Go buy that book.
Thanks for coming out, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Mag-ingat kayo.